because there's never been a greater time in the history of the world to build your brand, to advertise, to get the word out using the internet, and more specifically, social media. But you have to be able to start thinking of social media a little bit differently. And by that I mean is social media to me, and it needs to be to you, is business. It's not playtime. And a lot of people don't like to hear this. But the truth of it is that I use social media to build leads, to generate awareness for my brand, to distribute content, to do all of those types of things. There's something in your head, a switch that needs to be flipped, that makes you understand that social media is not a place for you to talk about your kids and stuff like that. Sure, it can be done as well. But the primary reason you should be spending any time in social media is to drive awareness and brands and publicity and leads and sales for your business. If you're not doing it that way, you are missing a huge opportunity to not have to spend tons of money. If you are focusing your time on social media in a social, personal time, that's fine. Every second you're doing that, you're not building your brand. You're not distributing your content. You are not getting sales and leads. You're not building your network, your social equity. Social media is business, not playtime. It is, of my opinion, that you should take your personal accounts. If you want to talk about, whatever it is you want to talk about, you should move those and do those separately, because you're going down to a path where it's not going to work in the end. Now, I will give you this one caveat. I'm a consultant. I'm the business. So, therefore, whatever comes out of my mouth is both personal and about the business. So I do interlace about 15 to 20% of my tweets and my Facebook updates with personal things, because it builds a relationship between me and my potential audience. If I was just constantly putting out stuff that was about the business, about the industry, people would be like, okay, that's fine, but they would never build a relationship with me. So I'm not telling you to be inhuman. I'm not telling you to stop talking about your children. I'm not telling you to stop posting pictures of your fishing trip. I'm telling you that the primary objective for you needs to be to consider social media as a business. And the best way to do that is to think about how you're going to distribute content and use it to generate word of mouth, because you're never going to find anything better than people who spread the word for you. And social media is a natural distribution method for people who want to spread the word. Why? Because social media is easy, and human beings aren't going to do anything that's hard. They want the easiest possible way to spread the word. Even if they love something more than anything else on earth, a typical human being has a limit to how far they will go to share that information. I'm a really big fan of, I'll just make up REM, the band, and their new album came out or whatever. I'm making this up. And I wanted to spread the word about it. But if I had to do 16 different things to tell people about it, I'd never do it. 1 out of 1,000 people would. The super, super, super fans. And you cannot build an entire business and sales funnel on 1 out of 1,000 people. You want all of them to be able to do that. And that's what social media does. Now I'm going to tell you about this example, this trout club in Cleveland, Ohio here. I'm from Cleveland, and you wouldn't think there would be a trout fishing club near Cleveland, but there is. It's about an hour and a half out of town, and it's called Sunnybrook Trout Club. Now, I am not a member of this club, but I do know a member, and I go up there once a month or so, and I fish for trout. Now, a trout club is just like a golf country club, except instead of greens and fairways, you have rivers and ponds full of trout, and you go trout fishing. You pay dues and all that kind of stuff. Now, it's very expensive to be a member. It's very expensive. You have to eat there a certain amount of times, just like a regular country club. So I went up there, and I was talking to the guy who owned the place about his involvement in social media, and he was telling me, he was giving me the woe is me story about, oh, the down economy, It's so hard. I can't find new members. I can't get the word out. I can't afford advertising. I'm like, so how do you get business now? He says, well, 99% of it comes from my members telling other members about it. And then they bring them up as a guest, and then maybe they decide to order. Maybe they decide to become a member. But membership's down 75% over the last 3 years. And I'm looking at the guy, and I start to go into about a 10-minute rant about social media. And this is exactly what I told the guy. I said, if you spent an hour or less a day with video and on social media, you would probably get 20 to 30% more membership signups every month. And here's exactly what I would do. I would take a little Kodak ZI-8 camera or flip camera, and I would walk out my door every morning in the afternoon, and I'd go around and I'd find some of my members fishing for trout. And I'd say, hey, what's your name, and what are you catching? And I'd film them catching trout at my club. Go figure, right? Then I would take the video, and I would upload it to YouTube under my Sunnybrook Trout Club channel, and I would say, this is a video today of Mark, one of our members, catching a brook trout in the upper part of the stream. Then I would take the video, and I would embed it in my blog. Then I would take and I would write a little story about it, right? Then I would take the video and I'd upload it to Facebook, and I'd tag the video to the member that was there, if he allowed me to do that, that is, right? I'd get his permission ahead of time. What is the first thing that that member's going to do when he gets home and he finds that a video of him was put up fishing that he agreed to see? He's going to go, check out the fish I caught today at my trout club. And he's going to share it with every single person on his Facebook wall. And frankly, you associate with the people who most likely like the things that you do, right? That is going to get spread, and then I'm going to watch the video if I'm a friend of his, and I'm going to go, wow, there's trout fishing in Ohio? Where's that from? It's the same example I gave you about the CrossFit Cleveland. Create video of something that is happening in your place of business. Now you're saying, Jim, oh, by the way, when I told this to the guy who owned the trout club, he said, that's too much work. I said, 45 minutes a day is too much work? And he said, it's just too, I don't want to do it. That social media is just too much work. And I'm thinking to myself, if this guy did this 45 minutes a day, he'd probably have the most members he ever had in his life. But he is going to go under the whole thing of it's too hard to figure out. I go, I could show you how to do this in an hour. But he didn't want to do it because of fear or because he was just lazy. And I don't want you to be in that position. And you're saying to me now, Jim, well, I don't own a trout fishing place and I don't own a gym, so there's nothing really exciting for me to film at my office. I have an office with nothing in it. That's untrue. There are types of videos that you can make. There are types of social interaction that you can make with people. You know, a video of your staff, Christmas party stuff. You know, there is things that you can do, okay? Word of mouth is one of those reactions we were talking about earlier. If you can generate word of mouth, and you should be thinking about ways to generate word of mouth for your website, your affiliate site, for your videos, for the content that you create. Every single one of those should be the ability to generate word of mouth. I'll give you an example I just did today. I launched a new book today. It's called How to Catch Happy. And I went out to my email list last night, and I sent an email out to several thousand people. I said, hey, would you like to read an early copy of my ebook? I got over 300 responses saying, sure, love to read it. You know what I did? I put up a Facebook comment section on my website underneath on the landing page. I sent it out to all 300 people. I said, here's the ebook. When you're done, just go to this page and leave a comment. Well, guess what? Every time they leave a comment, because it's a Facebook comment, it posts on their wall. It posts their comment about my book with a link back to my website on their wall. So not only am I going to get hundreds of testimonials before I even sell this book, I'm going to get saturation across Facebook, and all thousands and thousands of these people who are going to talk about my book even before it's for sale. Word of mouth is something we all need to be thinking about. I want to talk to you a little bit about teaching what you know right now. And this goes a little bit off the reservation. We're going to talk about attention next. I'm a big believer in teaching what you know. Take the knowledge that's in your head and transfer it to the web. Everyone knows a lot about something. Everyone in this webinar or watching this recording knows a lot about something. And you may say, oh, well, Jim, it's what I know a lot about is not important or nobody cares about. 99% of the time, you're dead wrong. Because just because you think that what you know a lot about is not important, you're devaluing it in your head unnecessarily and falsely. You can say, Jim, I know a lot about pillow pets. Jim, I know a lot about, I'm in my office, which is also my kids' playroom, so I'm looking at toys and everything in here, this office, so I look for examples. Jim, I know a lot about iPads. Well, the truth is that there are other people in the world who want to know either what you know or want you to teach them how to do what it is that you do. And once you realize that, you can begin to build new revenue streams on your knowledge. The billion-dollar business of education. 28% of all online degrees are going through online channels now. The internet is going to quickly become the number one source for how people get educated in a formal environment. People are used to they're getting used to the concept of learning online. Now remember, there's two reasons people come onto the internet in the whole first place. Number one is to have a problem solved, and number two is to be entertained. So if you can build content that educates people about a topic, then you can get their attention. You can get them to convert. There's two examples I want to show you or talk about that I thought are really interesting. Zappos. Zappos.com was bought by Amazon. They're the first billion-dollar online retailer. Zappos got famous because of their customer service. So they had all of these companies. Every small business around the world came to Zappos and said, we want to know how you did this. How did you get so good with the customer service? And Zappos said, you know what? We're going to make something called Zappos Insights. And we're going to charge you $300 a month. And we'll have some online sessions. And you can sit in your office. And we'll teach you how to do it. Anyone want to run the numbers for me? When 100,000 people give you $300 a month? It's a pretty nice monthly paycheck. SEObook.com, the guy knew a lot about search engine optimization. He had an ebook that he was selling for $100. His wife said, I wonder if we should not sell the ebook for $100, instead make a monthly membership program for $100 a month that comes with the ebook. We add some forums on it, add some tools on it, and charge $100 a month. So instead of making $100, he's now making $1,200 a customer, $100 a month. They've since raised it to $300 a month. Again, run the numbers. 10,000 people giving you $300 a month is a nice monthly paycheck for monitoring some forums and producing an ebook, don't you think? Teach what you know. If you know a lot about whatever niche you're in, create content, give it away, sell it, put it in a membership program. The point I'm trying to make to you tonight with this is you can get people's attention by giving them content that helps them. And when they get helped or entertained, their problem solved, they share it. Now let's talk about attention.